So greetings, sisters. I'm going to show you what I've been working on in my spare time. Of course, this is our circle, so you have a point of reference. I'm going to turn around and take you a walk around to the garden. Now, if you remember last year at Planting Mass, we planted an herb garden in a raised bed. Well, I moved the herbs down starting here because I wanted to plant root vegetables in that bed down there. But what I've done is I've extended this bed all the way down the fence line. So I'm going to get down here at the end and show you what's going on. So here, I don't know if you can see them, but I've got just coming up green onions all along this area. And there's some green onions that Bobby and I used in the kitchen. And when you cut off the roots, if you plant them, it'll grow more onions for you. And then right up here are baby radishes just coming up. So across this area is the radishes. And then here we've got carrots. Baby carrots coming up all the way back. And then in the back row we've got fennel. And some of those seeds are now coming up. And then all around here, this whole area, is beets. Then I've got various kinds of peppers along in this bed. Everything from red, orange, yellow, green, poblano, Anaheim, Marconi, and jalapenos. And then I've got several types of tomatoes in the middle row there. That one I just planted, so it's kind of wilty in the heat, but it'll come up in the morning. And then we just noticed this little guy has a tomato on. And these are all cherry tomatoes. Or actually they're grape tomatoes. And then in the back row is cucumbers, along with pineapple. So we've got lemon cucumbers and regular straight 8 cucumbers. There's another batch of cucumbers back there. Seedling coming up there. And then more seedlings there. Then we move on down, and we've got the bee balm that we planted last year. And then all of these are thyme. I believe this is just the regular thyme. And I broke it all up and planted it between the bricks. This is lemon balm. I think it's going to come back. There's one of the mints that we planted last year. There's some thyme there. There's the pennyroyal back there. There's the garden sage, and the rosemary, which is quite tall now. And then I've got a bunch of green beans planted. Actually, there's peas over in here, and they're just starting to come up today. These little green spots right there are peas just coming up. But anyway, these are all different kinds of green beans coming up. And then back in the back, between the herbs, I'll have some squash plants that'll come up. Then all through here, even though they're not up yet, different kinds of beans. Here's some just coming up today. There's another baby bean coming up there. Some more breaking the ground there. So yeah, all through here. There's mint and more thyme, St. John's wort, more green beans. Actually, I think these are yellow wax beans down here. They're coming up just fine. The aloe vera transplanted well. And we've got some spicy oregano right there. Actually, I don't think that's the spicy. I think that's the regular oregano. And then there's some lemongrass that I transplanted, and it's coming up through the pineapples just fine. And of course, we've got baby pineapples on. A little lizard for you. Check that pineapple out. How sweet is that? Another baby pineapple. There are several around the yard. Now I'm going to take you into the patio and show you the herbs over there. So here we are at the pool, and I cleaned up all the pots, and I cleaned up the tower over there. I haven't planted it yet, but I have planted the cubes to go in the tower. But so we've got a new basil plant, sweet basil there. And we've got some more sweet basil, some Italian basil coming up. Down in here is holy basil. And we've got stevia. Got some motherwort coming up. Got spicy globe basil, lemon basil, lime basil, and Thai basil. We've got some Mexican tarragon, some Italian basil, sweet basil, purple opal basil, and I think this is another sweet basil. And we've got some Thai basil from last year in these two pots. Some chives. And in this planting bed here, in these containers, Mr. Jones at school is a science teacher and a tech teacher, and he got some tomato seeds from NASA as an experiment to do with the kids, but obviously we can't do those now, so we're doing them at home. And on these 6 right here are the L tomatoes, and these are the M tomatoes. Now, what we don't know, and we won't know until later in the season, is the seeds from either L or M were propagated on the International Space Station. And the question is, do they grow any differently than regular seeds? So again, NASA provided us with 2 packets of seeds, one propagated on the International Space Station and the other just regular tomato seeds of the same variety. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. We'll keep you posted. So this is what I've been doing, and I've got some little cubes planted over here to go into the tower eventually. These are the greens. I don't know how well they're going to do, because greens don't do well in the heat, but I'm going to try to have my tower completely filled with greens. But yeah, so that's kind of how I respond to stress, is to garden. Just keeps me grounded, and I think it's a really good idea for anyone who's got any kind of space or any kind of containers, especially now, to plant as much food as you possibly can, because you never know when you're going to need it. So God is blessed, sisters.